Jets lose 10-9 to the Denver Broncos. You got to be freaking kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. If you're a Jet fan and you're angry, you're upset, you are 1,000% justified. 1,000%. Look, I don't want to overreact. We're 500, 2-2. We're still in the first quarter of the year, still in September. A lot of football left. Could the Jets turn it around next week? Sure. But, dude, I got to be honest with you. I was literally screaming. I was yelling during this game. I was irate. I was fuming. So many times the Jets shot themselves in the foot. Over and over and over and over. It's like, when are we going to get out of our own way? I was thinking that. I'm like, when is the turning point going to happen? Is it going to be an interception? Is it going to be a long touchdown pass? Is it going to be Breece Hall breaking off a long run? Nope. None of that happened. It was just penalty after penalty after penalty, bad play call after bad play call, guys not stepping up, guys looking dazed and confused, slow, sluggish, a lack of prep. The Jets were frankly not prepared at all. And look, to be honest with you, you guys called it. Lots of Jets fans, days before this game even kicked off, right? We're not talking about earlier this morning. We're talking about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Jets fans from all over the world were questioning, hey, you know what? Is this going to be the classic Saleh game where they're coming off a big win, they have extra days to prepare, they're talking a big talk, they're feeling themselves a little bit, too much, where the confidence kind of boils over into like cockiness and arrogance, and they come out and they lay an egg on Sunday because they fall right on their face in the early parts of the game, and there's just nothing happening. It's not to say that every player looked bad. I thought Quincy Williams looked like a beast. I thought Braylon Allen looked pretty solid, right? Running north and south. He looked tough. He looked physical. But man, there's a lot of blame to go around here. A lot of blame. Rodgers made some nice throws, but he also missed some. Breece Hall, I would go as far as to say it's the worst game of Breece Hall's NFL career. I don't want to be harsh. I love Breece Hall. I do. But what did Breece Hall have on the day? 10 yards? Let me just look real quick. Sorry, not 10 yards. I have the stats pulled up right in front of me here. 10 attempts for 4 yards with no touchdowns. He also had 2 pre-snap penalties, which were killer. There was this weird play towards the end of the game where he could have made a play in the pass game. It just looked like he didn't really go for the ball. I'm thinking, like, what the heck is that, man? Like, we definitely looked a lot more physical with Braylon Allen in the game. I wish we gave him more opportunities. Make that adjustment. Garrett Wilson, not much of a factor. He had one beautiful play towards the end of the game, but he had the fumble early on. Like, that's not what we know Garrett Wilson to be. We know him to snag 1,000 yards per season. That's what he's been doing with horrible play calling and horrible offensive line play and horrible quarterback play during his first 2 years. This was not a Garrett Wilson-esque performance. Sauce Gardner and his tackling, not good at all. Trying to go for the ball instead of it's just. And Gardner's tackling has been questionable, below average all year, dating back to last season. People started having some concerns last season, but this season it's really picked up. The tackling it's an issue. Safety play, not good at all. Pass rush, not good at all. But I don't want to harp too much on the defense, right? Because ultimately, Bo Nix had negative freaking passing yards at halftime. Negative freaking passing yards, dude. Think about that. And he ended the day with 60 passing yards, and we still couldn't get the win at home, having 10 days to prepare. Coming into the day, Bo Nix didn't even he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. And it frankly looked like he couldn't even grip the football the right way because of the weather in the first half. But the penalties were atrocious. Personal foul here, taunting here, which I didn't necessarily agree with Alan Lazard's little finger thing, but that's the rule. They call that for other teams out there that the NFL's trying to crack down on it. So as an organization, as a coaching staff, they need to crack down on it as well. That's a critical 15 yards. It's not a simple little 5-yard play. It's 15 yards in a game that ends 10-9. That's a big chunk of yards. All these false starts, all these guys lining up off sides. Again, the Breece Hall 2 pre-snap penalties. Irv Charles screaming down the field and hitting the guy trying to make a fair catch. Like, I don't know. It was just weird. I personally, I counted 13 total penalties. Let me get the exact number here. Yeah, 13 penalties for 90 yards. You're telling me in a game that ends 10-9, you give the other team 90 yards. That's a free football field. That's a free football field. If the Broncos didn't have that 90 yards, or you take that 90, you drop it down to 10 or 15 or 20, do they win this game? Do they win this game? I don't know. So absolutely brutal. I'm not looking forward to watching the solid presser. Let's quickly go over some of the, I mean, man, there's so many different avenues that you could go down here. I really don't want to be too negative. I hate making negative videos. But at the same time, I also hate when the Jets lose, and I really hate it when I feel like we beat ourselves, and it's the same stuff over and over and over. By the way, pass protection, horrible. Seeing Aaron Rodgers getting sacked 5 times, watching him limp, struggling to stand up, it looked like his left knee was bothering him, and then limp off to the sidelines at the end of the game was just depressing. Just depressing, right? And then I'm sitting here watching just in dead silence, watching Zerline just, miss the 50-yard field goal, knowing that Rodgers could potentially be hurt. Still haven't even seen an update on it. Oh my Lord. But, there's just so many different areas where just questionable decisions. Fans have questions here, and rightfully so. There's questions about play calling. There's questions about, being prepared for a game. I mean, how is it possible that wide receivers on back-to-back plays in the fourth quarter and critical drives literally don't they're not, like, Garrett Wilson didn't even turn around. Like, he was open. He could have made a play on the ball. He didn't even turn around for the ball. Very next play, right? Wide receiver confusion. It seemed like the offensive line had confusion as well. I know a lot of people want to, blame Olu and stuff, and he definitely struggled today, but you know what? It's his first start playing right tackle. This is not even his position. He was not a right tackle in college. He's a left tackle. So I don't want to get down on him too much. If this was him starting at left tackle and he was just, put out the same performance, I would be a little bit more critical, but, to me, it's like hard to blame the guy when, the Jets are like, okay, no, you're going to be the swing tackle, so half the practices are at left tackle, half are at right. Obviously, last week, Moses goes down, so he has, the 10 days to, kind of prepare for the right side. But still, that doesn't, against a top 10 defense, that doesn't just automatically, equate to good performance, just having, an extra couple days to prepare. I was expecting more. I was expecting more from the coaching staff. I mean, the Jets were 8.5-point favorites from Vegas. That's a pretty big line. That's like saying, I don't know, man. It's a lot of questions. Starting off slow, penalties, confusion, not roughing the passer, lots of sacks, lots of people in the backfield. I felt like really the only thing keeping us in the game was Rodgers' mobility, right? Being able to extend plays, move around a little bit. But once that, I think it was actually on a 3rd and 1. Oh my God. End of game, right? We could have just handed the ball off to Braylon Allen. I put a tweet out about this. Of course, right, hindsight's 2020, but 3rd and 1, close game. As time is going down, you can give the ball to Braylon Allen, try to pick up this 1 yard. Instead, we drop back, we throw. Rodgers gets destroyed. He gets sacked, and he gets up limping. I'm like, this can't even be real. So, we beat the Broncos in time possession. We beat the Broncos in passing yards. We beat the Broncos in total yards, right? But it's just critical mistakes. Critical mistakes, man. And just looking just slow and it's just lackluster. I don't know what it is with the solid regime. There's always a game or, a few games throughout the course of a season where it's just like the Jets should be winning this game. What the heck is happening, man? How are we dropping these games? And again, you have to go out and execute. It's not all on Saul. It's not all on Hackett. It's not all on Breece Hall. It's not all on, take your pick on whoever struggled today. It's a collective effort. But I think why Jets fans are really frustrated is because we expect more, especially for the amount of time that we hear this, for the amount of talking that this team does, talking about how good they are, It's just, I don't know, man. It's not really my thing. I need to see this team walk the walk. We need to get over 500. We need to make the playoffs. Too much money invested in this team. Too much time in this team being built. All these first round picks, all these free agents and whatnot. So we got to figure this thing out, man. We cannot roll out another performance like this, especially against the Vikings, Buffalo Bills, and Pittsburgh Steelers. If we look like this, that's 3 straight losses. Can't do it. Can't do it. I don't know if it's one of those games where the Jets just thought, oh yeah, we're better than Denver, we're better on paper, we're gonna go in there and win. We're playing at home. We've had more time to practice and game plan for them, and they just were big-headed, which we've seen from this seen from this regime before, or what? But so maybe they don't come out like that against the Vikings, but I thought week 1 was the wake-up call. Looks like it's going to be week 1 and week 4. Hopefully we bounce back. I still love the team. Still love the talent here. I still think we could win a lot of football games. But if we look like this and we're just constantly shooting ourselves in the foot, we're constantly giving up free yardage, we're constantly making these mistakes, I mean, it's fans are 100% justified in feeling angry and upset and shocked about performances like this. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's tough watching stuff like this. It's tough consuming content after your team just blows for 4 straight quarters, right? It's tough. It's really tough. So it really does mean a lot. It means the world to me. And yeah, as always, go Jets.